from the China side, definitely the power is weaker than before. Even though we imagine China is so strong, it's not so strong. You have some criticism now within the Chinese regime, I mean, against Xi Jinping, and the tensions everywhere, as I mentioned before, is a way of, you know, kind of gathering the people around the leader. You know, in fact, against the virus, it's not a victory at all. I mean, for Hong Kong, it's not a victory yet. Taiwan is lost for the moment. So there is no big victory for China. So we can say that, oh, that's the India front is a new theater of conflict. So it's getting a little bit more and more dangerous, I would say. I wouldn't have been so pessimistic a few months ago, but now China is confronting the world. Look at EU reacting against China. So you see, it's not so balanced now. It's not so peaceful in China.
And of course, Catherine Field, Narendra Modi has problems of his own. Big spike in cases this week, and again, this rally round the flag moment, could that be dangerous for all sides?
Yes, it is dangerous for all sides. And when you look at both India and China, as Dorian was saying, these are two populist leaders who are on the back foot. Their own populations are questioning how they've been handling COVID. But also, you know, let's look at who hasn't gotten involved with this, and that's the United States. You know, there was a time when if something like this happened, you know, Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or even George Bush would have sent the Secretary of State out there to talk to people, to try and calm things down. And I think that's where we're seeing this.
We did have a meeting, by the way, between Mike Pompeo and the top diplomat, the most influential diplomat in Beijing, China, which happened in Hawaii this week, but the press wasn't invited and they kept it low key, Catherine.
Yeah, well, this is the way we're used to seeing the State Department work. But, you know, I go back to it, you know, that's not enough. In the past, there would have been, you know, an Undersecretary of State, a Deputy Secretary of State, even the Secretary of State, someone who would have got on a plane, gone out there and said, okay, look, let's calm things down. Because as Dorian says, this is a real flashpoint. We've had flashpoints here all the time. It's a border that is very remote. I've been up there. You can go hiking there for days on end and not see another human being. It's just so remote. But when you've got two countries, two enormous countries like China and India still fighting over where that border is, you really need someone strong from outside. That at the moment, you know, used to be the United States. I don't know who it could be now who could get in there and say, this is dangerous, pull back, guys, let's get a mediation going and stop this going any further. Because if it does go further, you know, it will be ugly. When you look on the China side, I don't know what Dorian thinks about this, but the Communist Party conference isn't due until, what, 2022? So President Xi has got a long time that he's got to look strong, reinforce his base, and this is a very good way for him to say, don't look at what's happening on the economy, don't look at what's happening on COVID, look at what I'm doing to India on the border. And he can show that he's a strong man there.